All right. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, all across the globe, welcome to another edition of Power Connections with Kevin Vaughan and my special guest, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Barrett Matthews. Doc, how you doing today, sir?
I am doing marvelously well and improving, my friend. How are you?
Hey, man. Hey, Doc, I'm so excited, man, to have you. You know, I just saw you in Kansas City, Kansas, with the awesome Dr. Donetta Watson and the Black Mastermind Group. So thank you so much for, first of all, meeting you live. That was powerful.
My pleasure, man.
Yes, sir. It was awesome, man. We had a great time with you and with the doc and everybody that was in attendance. So thank you so much. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, just to let you know, we were in Kansas City for the first time. I was in Kansas City, Kansas, with Dr. Donetta Watson, the founder of the Black Mastermind Group, ladies and gentlemen. And I was there enjoying the entire 5-day event. It was amazing, Doc. So we had a great time meeting you and learning from you guys as well. What a powerful graduation we had too, Doc. That was powerful, wasn't it?
Oh my goodness, yes, it was amazing.
Amen. Well, Doc, we always give our guests some opening comments, anything you want to say to the network. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking with Dr. Matthews about his new book, or his book out there, Why Didn't You Get It Done? Okay, I'm going to be talking to y'all about that. You all know who you are. You need to get stuff done. Okay, Doc's going to talk to us about that. We're going to be talking about our podcast opportunities. Some of you guys want to have your own podcast and what that means. As a matter of fact, I looked up the definition of podcast, Doc, so I'm going to be reading that to him later as well. I wanted to look it up to see. I know what it does, but I wanted to see what it really says.
Mm-hmm.
And then last, we're going to have you guys, those who want to get in touch with Dr. Matthews for speaking engagements and information, we're going to definitely have them get that to you as well. Hey, this is Power Connections, part of the MLT Network. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Vaughan here with you. Thank you so much for being live with us. So, Doc, I want to give you a few minutes. Then I'm going to turn this music down, but I'll give you a few minutes to open up. Anything you'd like to say to the network. A lot going on, but anything you'd like to say.
Yeah, I want to say to everybody, please be vigilant in what you're doing. If you're working on any project, I don't care if it's business related, I don't care if it's personal, whatever, be vigilant in what you're doing. Stay with it. There's going to be obstacles that are going to come at you, try to take you away from it. Stay focused and keep working at it, and you will get it done.
Absolutely, Doc. Thank you so much for that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is very, very serious. Man, I tell you, Doc, we're in some critical times where decisions have to be made strategically. I mean, we're talking about getting rid of stuff, folks, that is not in your best interest towards your goal. That's what Doc has been sharing with us and teaching us as well, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta get stuff done. But Doc, could you talk just a little bit before we get started about how important it is to write stuff down that you gotta get done?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, please.
when you get old like me, you better start writing stuff down.
Right. Everything written down, yeah.
So it's a good idea to get into a habit of doing it when you're young.
Yes.
Because
yeah,
let's just face it, as you know, I always joke with people. They say, yeah, you can't remember things because you're getting older. I said, no, the thing is, I really got a lot more things on my mind now than I used to.
Exactly.
I really have a lot more things to keep track of. We got social media. We got these smartphones that they're smarter than us a lot of times.
Exactly.
We got family. We have friends. We have so many things to keep track of.
Yeah.
That it's best to write things down. Yeah. Not to mention, there is a something with the synapse between your brain and your hand when you write it down that not only makes it stick a little bit more, but makes it so that you actually will tend to get certain things done when you do that. So it's vitally important that you start writing things down. And some people, you're not used to doing it, just start doing it. And I'm not saying put it in your phone. I mean, write it down.
Yes.
Not put it in your phone. It's the act of writing it down actually has a connection with your brain that makes it stick a little bit more and makes you want to do it because you actually saw yourself writing it in your mind.
Yes,
so
sir.
I hope that helped.
Oh, absolutely. That is powerful. And Doc, I'm gonna tell you, man, my technique, guys, I love, Doc, when I write stuff down and then check it off, Doc. Oh man.
Yes.
Check. Yeah. I don't care if it's going to the grocery store.
Right. It doesn't, and that's, I'm glad you said that, Kevin, because it doesn't matter how big or small you may think it is.
Yes, sir.
Get into that habit of doing it because it's an accomplishment. And there's a sense of pride you get within yourself just from accomplishing things.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Powerful, Doc. I tell you, guys, it is so rewarding. And like you said, if the electronics goes down, I forget the list. So if it's on paper, I ain't gonna forget it because it's on paper. There. It don't erase, it don't, unless I lose it, but I ain't gonna do that. But the point is you got it written down, and I'll carry a little piece of paper in my wallet, Doc.
I've done it. I've done it in my pocket. I've done it.
I love it, man. Whatever it takes to give you that edge, ladies and gentlemen. And guess what, Doc? I don't, those also too, guys, those checklists help you not waste time, Doc. I have to think.
This day and age, we're easily distracted.
Oh man, before I leave the house, matter of fact, just the other day, folks, we're talking about time management, if you will, or managing your time, if you was better. But talk about if I'm going to a location and I know I need certain things, might just make the rounds while you're out, and go to the place where you can go stop and get all three things in the vicinity instead of, come back home, I forgot to write it down. And now you got to go back out again, So it's such a time saver for me too, Doc, when you write stuff down and you know exactly where you got to go. I got to go to Home Depot. Home Depot's here, Dollar Tree's here, and the grocery store's here. I'm going to make the rounds. I got my list, come back home. I'm happy as a log.
It makes sense.
Exactly. So it gives you some great opportunities, ladies and gentlemen, to be organized. We want you to be organized. In fact, Doc, I was talking to one of my clients the other day. They got to go through my planning document program. I told you guys, you got to have a plan. You got to organize. I asked them, do you have your plan? They said, no. Well, why are you talking to me? If you don't have your plan, ladies and gentlemen, you got to have it.
I will spit out this coffee.
I love it. Exactly. I love it. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Power Connections with Kevin Vaughan and my good friend here and consultant, ladies and gentlemen, and colleague, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Barrett Matthews, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you so much for being with us today. Hey, Doc, we're going to get started here because, as a matter of fact, we're going to talk to Doc about his book. Powerful book, ladies and gentlemen. Why didn't you get it done, ladies and gentlemen? But I want to read a little bit about him too as well, because this is a powerful young man here, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Barrett Matthews, ladies and gentlemen, is an author. You got some other books too he's going to tell us about too. Speaker and productivity and profit consultant with years of TV and radio experience at CBS and its affiliates, along with working print media as well. So guys, I want you to take some notes. Those who are in business or serious about business, I want you to take some notes so you can get in touch with Doc later on. He also helps entrepreneurs. Come on now, all you entrepreneurs, this is for you. Doc, there's 4 million, there's probably 10 million now entrepreneurs that want to, that said, I ain't going back to work. I need to do something different. So I'm going to say 4 to 5 million entrepreneurs out there. You need to contact us right now to get some appointments set up as well. But he helps entrepreneurs and executives reach their ideal clients who want to pay them. Amen. That's important, right? No hookups, ladies and gentlemen. No freebies, right? If they only knew they existed through the Done For You media platform that eliminates tech overwhelm and produces profitable interactions, ladies and gentlemen. This is a little bit about Dr. Barrett Matthews. He's going to give us some more information about how to get in touch with him a little later on. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Power Connections with Kevin Vaughan and my wonderful guest today, Dr. Barrett Matthews. Doc, let's talk about this wonderful book of yours, my friend. Tell us a little bit about that. Don't give him too much because we want him to get the book.
Well, first of all, I want to correct one thing earlier. It's not a new book. I actually wrote that book in 2013.
Awesome.
And yeah, it's 2013, and it's probably, I've written 3 books, but that one, Why Didn't You Get It Done, is probably the most popular. It gets the most traction. I get people constantly calling me to speak on that book. They always want a copy of that particular book, Why Didn't You Get It Done? So I'm quite proud of it. It's my baby. It was my first book too.
Yeah, exactly.
And the book itself is pretty much kind of self-explanatory. Why didn't you get it done? A lot of us, we have an issue with procrastination, and it's one of those things that just tells you, just stop procrastinating and stop making excuses for yourself and just get things done. It's something that you reminded me of a minute ago when you were talking. You mentioned the phrase time management, and I tell people there's no such thing as time management.
That's right.
And the reason I say that is because I know some people who are listening right now are saying, no, I have a time management issue. No, you don't, because you can't manage time.
Right. That's right.
There are 60 seconds in a minute. There are 60 minutes in an hour. That's time. You can't change that. So you can't manage it. It is what it is.
Yes, it is.
What you can manage is yourself. And that is what people never want to admit, that it's themselves. Just like you told that story, you manage yourself by making your list.
Yes, sir.
You didn't manage time, you managed yourself to fit into the time. Yeah. And that's what people don't want to admit, that it's themselves. So this book, just like I'm coming at you right now, it comes at you. And it tells you that it's you. You have to change some things if you want things to change. And I've had so many people tell me, just like we were at the graduation a couple weeks ago, that the book stepped on their toes, that it slapped them in the face, that it kicked them in the butt. Right, it beat them up. I mean, they were telling me all these things, and I'm flattered, by the way. But it's one of those things that this is what this book does, because it's really how I see things. I see a lot of people out there giving excuses for everything and expecting everyone to just accept their excuse for not doing what they're supposed to do. Bottom line is, do it. Either you're going to do it or you're not, but don't expect someone to give you credit for doing it if you didn't do it. So that's pretty much in a nutshell what the book is. And for those of you who can take someone stepping on your toes a little bit to make you take action, then the book is for you.
Absolutely, Doc. I love it. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, you're on Power Connections with Kevin Vaughan, Dr. Barrett Matthews. Hey, he mentioned some key things, ladies and gentlemen. One thing, and this is for me, so I want y'all, I'm getting on y'all too as well, but this is for me as well. But guys, you got to understand, do not even mention it if you're not going to do it. Okay, that's the thing I do. Don't even mention it. I think about it, I say, Doc, I ain't going to do it, so don't even mention it. But if you're going to do it, mention it and get it done, ladies and gentlemen. That's all we're talking about. And everybody knows, all you adult folks out there, you know what Doc's talking about. You just got to get it done. And what's interesting, Doc, it's not that hard, really.
No.
Most of the time, everything, matter of fact, I'm talking about matter of fact, I had replaced my garbage disposal years ago. I didn't think I could do it, but I went on YouTube, learned how to do it, and did it. Was able to replace my sink. We were able to do some stuff around the house that I didn't think I had, that I could do. And it wasn't that hard. When I found it, I said, man, these guys, I can do this and save you. So I got it done, Doc. But it's amazing that when you actually do your research, right? Now, I didn't just dive into whatever I had to get done. You got to research it. Matter of fact, I got to replace some bulbs here, the old fluorescent bulbs, Doc. I got to replace them to digital. I didn't even know they had digital bulbs now. But I had to figure out how to do that before I pay somebody else to do it, right? So now I know how to do it. All I got to do is go to Home Depot and buy the right bulb, and this
right.
That's amazing. So what I'm saying here, guys, we want you to take action. Matter of fact, I got a good friend of mine, Doc, that talks about taking massive action on you, right? That, ladies and gentlemen, do that. And there's so much.
Want massive results, you got to take massive action.
Yes, sir. And Doc, there's so much opportunity out here. We talk about the universe is waiting for you to just take action. Folks, come on. So whatever you want to do, I don't care if it's a transportation business, you want to write a book, you got to play, whatever, God, I want you to get to it. I want you to write down what you want done, and you need to call us, guys, and so you can get some consultation and maybe get some mentorship and get some background on what you need to be doing next, because I know some of you are brand new to the entrepreneurship, but guys, you gotta get it done. And guess what I found out, Doc, is that I deserve it. That's the one thing. I am not important enough to get stuff done that I need to do, or for others.
Amen.
Don't forget others now. We don't forget other people. So we get stuff done for you and for others, ladies and gentlemen. But Dr. Barrett can help you with that planning. I want you to get his book. And Doc, how's the best way folks can get your book, my friend?
Well, best way, tell you what, I'm gonna make it easy for them, because I'm gonna throw in something for them too.
Amen.
If you text me at 929-244-4323 and just text the word strategy, I'm not only going to give you the book, but I'll give you a free session on how you can help get a strategy together for your business as well.
Wow, powerful.
So you buy the book, you also get a free strategy session.
Oh, I love it. Hey, Doc, you know what? I just thought about this, because I always want to remember our young people. Our young people have a different generation, as you know, or even my children have a different generation and beyond. But can you talk to our young people about getting stuff done too as well, and little organizations?
Sure. I mean, the one thing I want to say to the young people is, congratulations on just being who you are and doing the things you do. A lot of times we older heads criticize you guys for doing certain things and not doing certain things, and we don't take the time to understand you all. I mean, for instance, I was talking to someone about someone saying that these kids don't even know how to write in cursive.
Right.
Well, why do they have to? Exactly. Everything's digital. Why do they have to? Exactly. I heard someone say that these kids don't know how to read a regular clock, how to tell time on a regular clock. Why do they have to?
Exactly.
Everything is digital. So
Yeah.
we can't hold you guys accountable for
Right.
something that's out of your control.
Exactly.
So I just want to say, you know, I commend you all for being who you are. Now, as far as taking action, look, I ain't gonna lie. When I was a teenager,
Oh no. Yeah.
we all teenagers have those lazy periods in our lives.
Yep.
Where you're sitting around the house and someone says, "What's wrong with you? You're tired." Yep. Oh yeah, what you been doing? Nothing. Exactly. It's a typical teenage line. I've heard it from myself. I've heard it from other teenagers. It's just what we do.
Yes, sir.
Now, that's not to say that I was a lazy person.
Right.
Ever since I was 13 years old, when school let out, I had a summer job. I was working in fields, working on farms, working construction. I was always working.
Yeah, bro.
And I know to you, and this is gonna sound like the old man in me now. For you younger kids out there, do something that's gonna take you out of the house.
Yeah, yeah.
Do something, and I say this for a couple of reasons. Do some work that's gonna make you, dare I say, sweat.
Right, right.
Because I understand that you don't have to work like that for your entire life, but you need to know what it's like.
Yeah, yeah.
You need to know what it's like to put in a hard day's work when you're just sweating and tired, and you're like, whoa. And you know, I say that because for health reasons.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people young adults, they have health issues with the heat or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of times because their bodies aren't used to it.
Right, right.
Because they didn't do it when they were young.
Right.
So I encourage you, get out, do something that's going to make you work and sweat and get tired.
Yeah, exactly.
So that you know what that's like. So when you talk to someone about a hard day at work, I remember a quick story. When I was in college, I was at the bookstore.
Yes, sir.
And the lady felt my hand when she gave me the change and said, "You never did a hard day's work in your life." And I said, "Lady, I've worked farms, I've worked construction. My hand just happened to be soft. But I've done some work. I've baled hay, I've done all that stuff."
Yeah, yeah.
But the thing is, I was proud to be able to say that I did it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I just say that for you, all the young people, get a sense of pride of just knowing that you know what putting in a hard day's work is like. And I know some of you saying, "Man, I ain't doing that," but I'm just telling you, some of you will. Yeah. So I encourage you to do that.
Oh, that's great. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Power Connections with Kevin Vaughan and Dr. Barrett Matthews, my special guest today. Hey, we're talking to him about his book, ladies and gentlemen, Why Did He Get It Done? Highly recommend you get that book and learn from that. We're getting ready to roll into podcast opportunities, ladies and gentlemen, for those who want to start their own podcasts. And even television, digital televisions, man. I tell you, we got some folks looking at digital TV, having their own channel, own network as well. So we're going to talk a little bit about that Dr. Barrett can help you with as well, ladies and gentlemen. I'm excited about that as well. Hey, as we continue, Doc, I wanted to look up because I had last couple of weeks, had at least 3 people wanting to know about podcasts. How do I start my own podcast? Matter of fact, I had one of my clients yesterday just wanting to start their own podcast. So we're going to tell you about that a little bit with Dr. Barrett, ladies and gentlemen. But let me tell you, I had to look it up, folks. I looked up, what is a podcast? I know what it does because I got one. But the thing is, what is it? Let me tell you, for those who need to know that. A podcast, ladies and gentlemen, is a program made available in digital format for download, okay? Over the internet, of course. For example, you got episodes, right? Series. You got digital audio, you got video files that the user can download to their personal device, of course, for listening at a later time. It is any type of digital format, whether it's audio or video, ladies and gentlemen, it's available for you. But what I like about the most, Doc, is it's your content, folks. It's your original content in most cases. It's stuff that you come up with that you want to grow, okay? It could be your flower shop, right? It could be your new book that you want to narrate a part of before you put sales out there. Whatever you want to do there, ladies and gentlemen, is part of what we do as well. So I want to talk to Doc today, Doc, because I know you're an expert at this area. Can you talk a little bit about the process of, first of all, planning for a podcast, and then why it should have a podcast today, and anything you want to talk about that helps people understand that they should consider having a podcast in their business model. Thank you so much.
Sure. Yeah, now the podcast, actually the word podcast came from people doing those digital broadcasts on, remember the iPod?
Yeah.
That's where the word pod came from in podcast. It started on the iPod.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And some of you might be too young to know what we're talking about. But that was an Apple product. The iPod was a product where you could listen to a lot of music and so forth. And It started on the iPod.
Yes,
Now, why should you have a podcast?
Yeah.
It's very simple. You got something to say. Every single one of you has something to say. The bottom line is a lot of you may sit there thinking to yourself, yeah, but nobody wants to hear what I have to say. That is not true.
Right.
There's always someone out there that wants to hear what you have to say.
Absolutely.
You just may not know them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You may not know them, but there's someone out there. Now, some of you may say, oh, I've tried to do a podcast. I didn't get any listeners. Well, how well did you market it?
There you go.
I think, and I'm one of these people, we're guilty of sometimes underestimating how big and vast this world is.
Yeah.
And how many people,
7
billion people are. I mean, there are so many people in this world.
Yes, sir.
And there are people out there that would listen to your voice that not only have you never met, but you may never ever meet.
Right.
But they like what you have to say or the way you say it. Some of you may be saying, well, there's already people doing podcasts on what I do, but they're not you.
Exactly.
They're not you.
Exactly.
And I want you to take yourself out of the equation for a second.
Yeah.
There's someone that needs to hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
They need to hear it. By you keeping it inside is selfish.
Yeah.
So take yourself out of it and understand that there's someone that needs to hear. Now, some of you have, this is the one that gets me, it's probably why they need to read my book. I hear people saying, you know, I've been wanting to do a podcast, or I'm thinking about doing a podcast, or I'm going to do a podcast one day.
Yeah.
I have this to say to you, because I know some of you are nodding your head right now. If you honestly feel that you have a message that the world needs to hear, if you honestly feel that that message is something that can empower, encourage, make someone laugh, whatever, inform somebody, whatever it is. My question to you is this: how long are you going to make them wait?
Come on now. Come on, Doc.
I mean, if you feel it's that important, how long are you going to make them wait?
That's right.
Because let me tell you about God and his gifts.
Come on now.
God gave you a gift. God gave you an idea. God blessed you with something to share with somebody. If you don't share it, he's going to find somebody else.
Yeah, buddy.
He's going to find someone else, and you're going to be wondering what happened. Or you'll be saying, you know, I had that same idea. But guess what? Nobody cares at that point. Nobody cares at that point.
Yes.
Because you blew it. And he will take that opportunity away from you. So understand that your message needs to be heard coming from you.
Yeah.
There are people that need to hear it. Now, I know people are going to be asking about, well, can I make money at it? You can make money at anything.
Yeah.
So but that should not be your singular focus.
Right.
But you can make money at everything.
Right.
I mean, like, I know you and I are old enough to remember the pet rock.
Yep.
Someone made money selling a rock. So, you can make money at anything.
Absolutely.
But the bottom line is, once again, what are you going to put into it to make it so that someone would want to spend money?
Yeah.
People only spend money when there's value.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you don't provide the value that they need, not the value you think is there, the value that they perceive, then they're not going to pay you for it. And sometimes that takes a good check of ourselves to say, you know, we think we're providing value, but if no one's buying, then maybe we need to check ourselves and realize, you know what, maybe I'm not providing value.
Yeah.
Because we need to find out what they want. So doing a podcast is a way for you to get that voice out and to not just stay in your community, but to get it out around the world. And it also lasts forever.
Yeah.
You know, Kevin does a podcast. That podcast will stay forever. It's not some, and this is a point I tell people who talk about, you know, sponsors.
Yes,
your sponsor's ad stays on your podcast forever. Is that a great selling point or what? To a sponsor? Why you want to be on my podcast? Because it stays there forever.
Yeah.
It doesn't go away.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that I think everyone should be doing. And
absolutely, just
so y'all know, the most people that listen to podcasts is not even in the United States. It's in Korea.
Right. Exactly, man.
I know we pump ourselves up like we're the best at everything. No, we're not. We're not.
Right.
We got a lot of room to grow. And the African American community is one of the smallest groups of people that do podcasts.
Wow.
I think we probably make up, I don't know, not even 11% of people.
Opportunity, Doc. That's opportunity for us.
Exactly. There's opportunity. Because I've heard, and the reason I say that to you, Kevin, because I've had people say to me, well, isn't that saturated? Black people say this to me. No, you've done no research of your own. You just put that anxiety in your head. You made it up.
Exactly.
You made it up that it's saturated. It ain't even close to being saturated. Not even close.
Absolutely.
So take the opportunity, as Kevin said, get a podcast started, because it's one of those things that it allows you to put your voice out there. Now, he asked me also about planning it.
Yeah.
It requires planning.
Yes, it does.
It's not one of those things you just, I know it seems like a lot of people just get up there and they talk.
Yeah.
No, they planned that.
No, absolutely.
They just happen to be good at talking.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's planned.
Yes.
I do podcasts. I plan out my podcasts.
Yes.
I plan it out, so I have a structure, so an outline. So I follow the outline. As long as I follow the outline, I can talk however I want to.
Yep.
I can feel free when I talk because I have a structure in place.
Yes.
You gotta have, I mean, I've worked in television, I've worked in radio. I know that you have to have a structure in place in order to do it. You can't fly by the seat of your pants. But the good thing about having a structure also is that if something goes wrong, if something goes away from where you want it to go, you know where you can rest yourself on because you have that structure in place.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about it going awry, because you always have something to fall back on, as opposed to just going by the seat of your pants. And it's one of those things that you want to plan out the time. You want to plan out the guests. Let me just tell y'all something. Before this particular show right here, Kevin sent me emails. He sent me confirmations. He sent me a calendar. He called me. He planned it. He planned it. So and this is not my first time dealing with him, so I know how he works. But you need to make sure. And I got another podcast that I'm a guest on today. Same thing. They sent me emails almost every day, preparing me for being on their podcast. These are things that you need to consider when doing your podcast. And some of you may think, oh, it sounds like too much work. No, it's not. One, you can hire someone to do that.
Absolutely.
Two, even if you want to do it, you can automate that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can automate the emails. But three, it's just communication. I mean, how much time would it take to send an email and say, hey, just want to confirm we're still on?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you can send them all the information they need in the first email and just have them refer back to that one. But you want to make sure that you plan it and prepare for it, because if not, you're gonna get frustrated, and it's gonna feel like work if you don't do that.
Yeah.
And when it becomes work, you ain't gonna do it no more. Because that's why most people only do like 4 podcasts and they quit.
Oh, I love it, Doc. Yeah, it's amazing.
That's what I got. I hope I answered all your questions.
Oh, absolutely, Doc. Yeah, matter of fact, you just triggered some other thoughts here. I'm gonna share with you guys real quickly too. Guys, hey, we're talking with Dr. Barrett Matthews, ladies and gentlemen, about podcasting. I highly recommend you get in touch with Doc and me, if you want to, guys, as well, to talk about how to set it up properly. Matter of fact, we'll even give you some time on our network, ladies and gentlemen, if you're willing to have the budget. If your budget's right, you can come on our network and do your thing. So that's up to you. But I do seriously want you guys to get excited about that. But Doc, one thing I thought about too, if it's done properly and professionally and pretty well, you can have some fun with this. But you literally can do your own marketing with your own podcast for your own business, folks. You understand?
Yeah.
Doc, talk a little bit about that, how you can do your self-marketing for you with the podcast as well. If you don't mind.
And not only can you should.
Exactly.
It's your show. I'm gonna put this out there. I hope I don't offend anyone. Well, if I do, that's what I do.
Spank them. Go on, spank them, Doc. Go on, spank them.
If you don't market your own self on your podcast, that's stupid. It's just stupid. I mean, it really is, because why wouldn't you promote your products or your services on your show? It doesn't make sense to me not to do that. And I've heard people say to me, well, can I do that? It's yours. Here's what I want y'all to understand. And this is, I would say maybe it's not your fault. Well, no, it is, because you just didn't do the research. That's your fault. But we compare podcasting, streaming TV to YouTube, or we compare it to
that quality of
terrestrial radio, terrestrial TV. See, like for instance, if Kevin were on a radio station right now, he can't just go on and promote his business on a radio station.
Right.
If I'm on a TV station and I got a business, I can't promote my business on a TV station.
Yeah, Doc.
But a podcast, a streaming TV channel, that's mine. That's mine.
Mhm.
I can promote me 24/7. Now, I don't recommend promoting yourself 24/7
Right.
because you want to give them more content than promotion. Because you want to give them so much content that they want you to promote yourself.
Yes, yes.
Give them so much content that you leave them wanting more. But you got to leave them with something. Now, on that note, if you don't have a product or a service to offer, shame on you.
Yeah, exactly.
Shame on you.
Yeah,
because how dare you get on a podcast, whatever, share so much great content with people, then leave them wanting and you have nothing to give them.
Absolutely.
You have nothing to offer them. Yeah. And I know people say, well, I don't want to be salesy. You better be salesy. Because guess what? There's nothing in this life that you have without somebody buying it or somebody selling it.
Absolutely.
So it's a crime for you not to offer something to someone if they came to, like, I'm just gonna give this example.
Yes, sir.
I spoke at the graduation ceremony that we spoke of a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
People tell me how much they loved that I spoke. What did I do at the end, Kevin?
Gave him a call to action.
I gave them a call to action, but did I offer something for them to buy?
Oh, absolutely.
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 Because if they enjoyed it, they want to take something home with them.
That's right. If you're really excited about it, let's go and get it.
I mean, it's like you go to a good cookout. You know, the food good. You want to take some home with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it, Doc.
So it's the same thing applies there. If you have your own show, you should be offering something for people, your own product, your service, whatever. You should be offering something for them to take with them that they can have with them a piece of you.
Yep.
So that way they can move forward knowing that they got a piece of you and they'll come back for more.
Amen.
Yes, they'll come back for more. And I hear a lot of people, I was talking to my sister the other day. She was talking about doing something. She said, well, I hear a lot of people giving it away for free. Man, you know how I feel about that.
No.
I'm not saying you can't give stuff away for free.
Right.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But don't make it a habit.
Right.
Don't make it a habit. You're in business.
Yeah.
I'm just use this example.
Yeah.
How often have you walked through McDonald's and they gave you something for free? I'm just saying, how often do you go into the grocery store and they just give you something for free?
Right.
And I'm not saying people don't give free samples, because they do. But how often?
Right. Exactly.
How often does that happen? So, like I said, don't make it a habit of giving something away for free. Look, I know your audience reaches everybody, Kevin, but I want to talk to some of the people that look like me right now for a second.
There you go. Yes, sir.
I just want to talk to them for a second. There is this stigma in our community about we gotta give away the farm.
Right.
We owe it to people to offer them a discount, and it's okay to ask for a discount or the quote unquote hookup. Wrong.
Right.
Nobody got wealthy doing that.
That's correct.
I repeat, nobody got wealthy doing that.
That's right.
So unless you have hundreds of thousands of people that are willing to pay you 99 cents, you better raise your doggone price. Dollar Tree made their money on volume, not because it was $1. And they even went to $1.25. So understand, Family Dollar had to raise their prices just to make regular prices because they knew they couldn't keep up by keeping the low prices because the volume wasn't going to sustain it.
Yep.
You don't have that type of luxury that they had. So you better put a price on the value, not the value that you think that you're offering, the value that they're going to get.
Right, Doc. Powerful.
The value they're going to get. So if you have something, if you have your own podcast, you better offer something to people. It's your duty. And I don't understand when people don't want to offer what they have on their own podcast. Like I said before, Kevin, it's stupid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's not good business, folks. Bottom line, that's what we're talking about here today. And hey, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, this is Power Connections with Kevin Vaughan and my wonderful guest, Dr. Matthews, ladies and gentlemen. I want to encourage you guys. We've been talking about his book, Why Didn't You Get It Done? Highly recommend you get that book, ladies and gentlemen. But also, too, not only get it, Doc, I have to tell people not only get the book, but you got to read the book also, too, as well, when you get it, okay? You want you sitting on your shelf, guys. There's certain books that you got to read, and then you got to take massive action to implement what the book is telling you to get done. ladies and gentlemen. Hey, also too, we've been talking about podcasting, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of my clients out there, Doc, and everybody has been wanting to know about podcasting. I highly recommend you have one. You get one. Doc just shared some stuff with you. But guess what, guys? You need to get started. You may need a little help, right? That's where Doc comes in. That's where I come in. We can help you get started properly planning. Matter of fact, Doc, one of the biggest areas I ask is, what about your technology? Do they have the tech for podcasting? You know what I'm saying? Do you have the right tech? We don't want your tech to be for home and for business. It needs to be one for each, right? You need to have a home tech, and then you need to have a business tech.
Well, it depends on what your business is.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So we're talking about that. So we want you to plan well, folks, on that area, and we can help you in that area. So we've been talking about podcasting. You guys need to contact Dr. Matthews. He's on Facebook, ladies and gentlemen. He's on LinkedIn, and we're going to give some more information later how to get in touch with him if you guys want to catch up with him for some appointments, if you will, and of course, even speaking engagements in the future as well, as we get ready to, as we're opening up. As you know, people around the world now are starting to move across the planet and start going back into speaking engagements. So we definitely want to encourage that as well, for you guys to contact Dr. Matthews on speaking engagements as they are organized in your organization, whether it's organizations, associations, and groups. Folks, I'm sure he'd be glad to come see you guys if you're willing to make some time to implement that in his schedule. So you guys contact Dr. Matthews, and we'll give you more information about that later. Hey, this is Power Connections. Hey, Doc, you know, one thing I wanted to mention about podcasting that I want to encourage everybody to do, because I did this back in the day with my grandparents when they were living, is I want you to capture your family members, folks. I'm talking about your seasoned, your ancestors, excuse me, your elderly that are still have their faculties pretty good, you know, that you can literally interview them on your podcast, folks, for the family. Now, you don't have to share it with everybody, of course, necessarily, but you can record it and keep that information online. So, guys, I want you to consider, for those, I'm talking about your aunties, your uncles that have information, you know, about the family that you can share within the family. You're talking about your grandmother, grandfather, great-grandmother, whatever, auntie, whatever you have, you need to interview them, guys. That's what a podcast can help you do that. You can record that audio and video, guys, as well. But Doc, can you talk about how important it is to capture some of the wisdom of our elderly today that are with us today?
Well, let me tell you that my parents, my father is 89 years old, my mother is 87. And my siblings and I, we have this thing now that usually it's when company comes by that's known them for a while, that's when they start really telling the stories. They start reminiscing about certain things. And we automatically will pick up our phone and hit record and just let it sit there, because they tell some stories that we never heard before and probably would never hear. Because we're not their peers.
Right. Exactly.
We're not their peers, so they're not going to share that with us. But like, and it's my father is 89. I didn't find out until he was 80 that, you know, what he did when he was in the Army. I didn't find out until he was in his 80s that when he was in high school, he played basketball against Elgin Baylor.
Oh, really? Oh.
I didn't know that.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's powerful, bro.
I didn't know that. But see, these are things that it's important to record. You know, my mother telling stories about how they used to hang on the railroad tracks when they were kids, and just my mother's the oldest of 13, so it's a lot of stories with them. Whole lot of stories. So it's a whole lot of things that you can capture. And trust me, if you don't capture it, you know it, you'll miss it. And that's history.
Yes, it is.
We can't rely on everybody else's history. That you got your own history right there. And I know that some of you, it may say, my parents, my uncles, my aunt, they ain't got rid of it. Anything is a pearl of wisdom, man. You can just take it in for what it's worth. It may not even affect you, but it may affect the next generation.
Yeah, exactly, Doc. And that's exactly what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. You know, like my grandparents, you know, my son and daughter may have not ever met them because they passed on early, but guess what? I have video of them. This is what your grandma and grandpa look like, and this is what they sound like. And here's what they had said, you know, to the next generation or to our family that may help you grow as well. So that is so powerful. But this is what podcasting can do for you. And now you don't have to share everything on the internet. We're talking about within the family. You can have a family podcast that stays within the family. It's private, right? Just private stuff if you want to do that. But the point is that you get this captured, because there's stuff that you'll never get back, folks. I got a good friend of mine says you gotta enjoy the moments. You gotta capture the moments as well when they're available. Like Doc said, have that record ready to go. Let people know, hey, we're getting ready to record you guys. Here we got it. So keep it moving. So that's powerful. But that's the power of podcasting, ladies and gentlemen, from the video and audio side. But I want you guys to get in touch with Dr. Barrett and myself so we can help you plan that well on your podcast. And it's not hard, folks. It's like anything else. Please understand, there is nothing you can't do.
Nothing.
Man, I tell you, you can go to YouTube right now for anything you want to do and learn it. You may have to listen to it 3 or 4 times, but say, now I got it, and I got it, and I can go do it.
And Kevin, also, there's a podcast on every subject.
Yes.
Look,
Yes.
I want to say this on your show.
Yes,
I went to a conference, a podcasting conference.
Yes, sir.
And there was a gentleman and his mother there. They do a podcast.
Yeah.
The podcast is called Talking Sex with My Mom.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Good
He and his mother talk about sex together on a podcast. And I know you're thinking, whoa.
Yeah, right.
But my point is that that's what they're doing on their podcast. And people listen. People interview them about their podcast. You can have a podcast on anything.
Absolutely, Doc. Powerful. I love it. And see, those are the topics that nobody wants to talk about, but they wish they could talk about, right? And we're talking keeping it nice, keeping it professional and so forth as well. We're talking about here, ladies and gentlemen. But the point is you having those conversations. And guess what? People around the globe are going to say, wow, that was interesting. Maybe I should get in touch with Doc, Kevin, on this subject. You never know. I just talked to a person over in the UK the other day that's going to be networking with us. Got friends down in Australia, ladies and gentlemen. So you can, we did this over time, of course, but the thing is your system will grow, but you've got to be online. Now, Doc, also, I want to mention too, as we get ready, we got about 15 more minutes, but I want to also talk about social media, how important it is to have social media platforms so your podcast can be on something. You just don't do a podcast and not have it somewhere. So can you talk a little bit about how important it is to have social media pages set up as well on the network?
Well, I got a news flash for everybody out there. Social media is not a fad. Okay. Yeah. I remember when social media first came out, we thought, oh, it's something that, that thing, it ain't gonna last long. Well, it's not only as you still here, it's flourishing.
Over everything, yeah.
It's flourishing. We are in what you would call a conceptual age now. We had the agricultural age, we had the computer age, whatever. We're in a conceptual age, meaning that your ideas can make you a billionaire.
Yeah, exactly.
Your concept.
Yeah.
Facebook was a concept.
Yeah.
There's no product. You know what I'm saying? There's no product. It's someone's idea.
Exactly.
Google is a concept.
Yeah.
So the thing is, these concepts have made people billionaires.
Yes.
But what it has done is allowed you to use their concept to transmit your ideas to anyone in the world. Transfer your events, your product, your services to anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
And it's not, it's not happenstance. You actually have to, like we talked about the podcast, you have to plan how to use social media to your advantage. There are people out there who are experts in all types of different social media.
Yeah.
I encourage you, because I know a lot of, I'm no social media expert. I will never claim to be. So I get people who are to help me to make my social media work. But I recognize that social media is vitally important because there are people out there who use it all the time.
Right.
I mean, I use LinkedIn, I use Facebook, I use Instagram, I use Twitter.
Yeah.
I use TikTok, all of them are different forms of social. I use Clubhouse. They're all, there's another one called OWL. There are different types of social media out there.
Yeah.
And they all do different things and attract different types of people. So you have to know not only which one to use, but how to use it and to whom you're targeting.
Yes, sir.
So if you don't know it, find someone who is. Don't say, oh, I don't want to do it. Just find someone who does.
Yeah, exactly.
Find someone who knows it. Find someone who likes it. And here goes, Kevin. Pay them.
Yeah.
Pay them to do it.
Absolutely.
That's what I do. I pay people to handle that stuff for me.
Absolutely.
There's certain things I know how to do on my own on social media. There's certain things I don't. The things that I don't, I pay someone to do it.
Yep.
Because it's better to have it done and be paid for it than not to have it at all. because I just don't know how to do it. Now, like Kevin said also, you can YouTube a whole lot of stuff and learn. Mm-hmm. And the bottom line is that there's really no excuse for you not to do it.
None.
Because that's what the world is now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll put it to you like this.
Yeah.
My 87-year-old mother will sit there in a heartbeat and say, well, why don't y'all just Google it?
I love it. I love it.
Like, she knows, my mother has her iPhone. She knows, my mother is on Zoom and stuff. So she knows how to use some of the tools in the media.
I love it. I love it, man.
So, that means I don't have, she got a Facebook account. She don't use it, thank God. But but my point is that social media is here and it ain't going anywhere. You may feel that your social media platform may be dying, whichever one you use, but there's another one coming up every day.
Absolutely, Doc.
Every day. I was listening to a guy on ESPN, Mike Greenberg, say something the other day, and he said that it's foolish for you to sit there and wait for things to go back to the way they used to be instead of evolving.
Man,
you got to evolve. You got to grow with things.
Yeah,
and
man.
As my good friend Dr. George C. Fraser said, if you don't like change, you're really gonna hate growth.
Exactly. That is powerful.
It's part of it. You got to adapt to it. These are social media is something that you have to be a part of. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are people who don't do as much social media as others. But they know how to organically grow their business.
Oh, I love it, man.
But that doesn't mean they don't use social media.
Right.
It just means that they know how to organically grow their business.
Absolutely.
So if you don't know how to organically grow it to where it's a large community, you better learn social media and learn how to grow your community. Let me tell you, there's a friend of mine, Warren Carlisle. Warren Carlisle is an expert in building communities. Warren Carlisle built, and I mean, he built an Instagram community so much so that Facebook called him in to teach their people.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You want to know what his Instagram community was on? Octopus.
Wow.
He loves octopus, the animal octopus.
Yeah.
He loves it so much that he posts pictures on Instagram and built a community so large on octopus. He got celebrities, everything, t-shirts, all types of things. He built a community of people around octopus.
Wow.
So don't tell me you can't do it.
Oh, no, exactly.
Don't tell me you can't. The man had built it so well that Facebook called him in.
Yeah, exactly.
On more than one occasion, they had him come in.
That's like Wall Street calling you in to help us out here. Help us out.
Right. They called him and they paid his way to come in.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So understand it. You think social media is going away? No, it ain't going away. You just better get on the train.
Amen. I love it, ladies and gentlemen. Doc, I tell you, this is powerful. Hey, this is Power Connections with Kevin Vaughan, my wonderful guest. If you're just joining us, Dr. Matthew Barrett, ladies and gentlemen, with us today. I'm sorry, I'm getting so excited here. Dr. Barrett Matthews, ladies and gentlemen, with us today on the network. You know, Doc, I was thinking about, one thing you got to do with your podcast and with your business is bring excitement too, Doc. You got to bring some excitement too. On top of that. And also, two guys, Doc talked about and remind me a little bit, Dr. Matthews remind me of the speed of business. Doc, you just talked about it. Business is moving so fast. It probably changed why we were on this podcast today. So, we gotta find out what happened, so and how it affects our business. So understand, guys, you got to keep up to date, not everything, but in your area, in your lane of the speed of business, because the internet is serious, folks. There's at least, I think the last number I saw, it was 4.7 billion people are on right now.
And it's not billion.
Yeah, Doc. It's amazing. 4.7 billion people on the internet right now. It's probably 5 billion or more right now. But the point is, the attention is there. You got to go where the people are, ladies and gentlemen. I can't understand, Doc, why people say, I don't need this, I don't need that. That's where the people are at. You got to go where the people are. You got to have a website or app, or you got to have some social media. I'm going to recommend you have at least 10 social media pages.
You have to have a way where people can engage with you.
That's where everybody's at. Doc, everybody is
that's one of the things that I left out.
Yeah.
You gotta make it so people can engage. We're at a different age now where people have to see, we're not physically in contact as much as we it's not even a COVID thing. It's just who we are.
No.
So if you're communicating through social media, if you're putting something out there,
Yeah.
make it so they can engage with you.
Yeah.
Ask them a question on social media or something, make them answer it.
Absolutely.
Engage with it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Somebody was asking about, singles and, being single today. That was a good question. Responded, how is it being single today? Dating and things like that. Even on marriage, So whatever the topic is, folks, the goal is communication, to communicate with people and engage with people. But guess what, Doc? You can't just do it once, folks. You got to do this over and over again based on what you want to do, folks. You got to do something daily. I got 4 more podcasts I gotta get done this week just to get the information out to y'all so you understand how business is flowing and what's going on and how much money is available to you out there for those entrepreneurs. We got money out there. We're going to talk about the BlackMastermindGroup.com, a quick plug there, the BlackMastermindGroup.com. I want you guys to check that out because you need to be a leader or a member of that organization, the BlackMastermindGroup.com. Powerful, powerful. Hey guys, this is Power Connections. And I want to give Doc the final 7 minutes here or so. But Doc, I want you to basically let people know how to get in touch with you as well, how to, of course, order your book, and any final thoughts, my friend.
Well, one thing I want to tell people is that media is essential for your business.
Gotta have it. Folks.
Not just social media. I mean media in general. We talked about podcasting. We talked about my books. I also have done work with film producers. I have also done work on radio, and we talked about television channels and networks. These are all essential. And I know you're thinking, well, I don't know anything about that. That's not an excuse.
Nope.
That's not an excuse. Keep in mind, there was a time you didn't know anything about computers, but here you are watching this.
Yeah, exactly.
You can learn these things. And if you don't feel you can learn it, here's one thing that I do. I do a challenge. I do a make money from media challenge for business owners. Where I show people how you can incorporate media in your business. How you can do these things. It's not as complicated as you may think.
No,
I mean, and if you can do that, just go to makemoneyfrommediachallenge.com. How simple is that? Makemoneyfrommediachallenge.com. It's the Make Money from Media Challenge. So why wouldn't you? It's a 5-day challenge. It's only a couple of hours a day, but you'll learn some things about how you can use media for your business. Now, as I talked with Kevin earlier, no, it's not free. So it's not free. You know why? Because it gives you a lot of value.
Yes, it does.
It gives you a lot of value. Now, I have 2 areas of entry. One is a journal admission. The other is a VIP admission. It's up to you as to which one you want. I just want to let you know the VIPs get a chance to ask me questions pertaining to their business throughout the challenge. The journal admission, you're going to learn the things, but you don't get to ask the questions that the VIP does. Also, VIP, you're going to get an opportunity somebody's going to win an iPad. Somebody's going to win a whole studio set. We're going to give you a lighting kit and everything with microphones and all that. So you're going to get that as well. But those are only for VIP admission. But I also have something for those of you who said, look, man, I don't want to do all this. I'd rather have somebody do it. Well, we have a team that does that for you as well. We put all that media I just mentioned, we do it all for you. Now, for those of you who come to the challenge, I'm going to offer that same thing to you as well, because you may learn it all and realize, whoa, that's a little bit much for me. I'd rather have somebody do it. And I tell people at the beginning of my challenge, Kevin, I tell them, I'm going to make you an offer to work with me.
Yeah, Doc. Yeah.
Earn the right. I hope y'all heard me. I'm going to earn the right. Meaning I'm going to give you so much information, so much content that if I make you an offer, you ain't mad at me because I taught you so much already.
Exactly.
So I want to earn the right to do that. Now, some of you may be saying, well, you know what? I like that. I just want to do a podcast. Well, we can help you with that too. And I'm going to tell you right now, text the word podcast. Just text the word podcast to the same number I gave earlier, 929-244-4323. 244, well, I forgot the number that quick. 929-244-4323. Text word podcast, 929-244-4323. And we can have a chat about your podcast. Now, one thing you know about me, Kevin, and those of you who've been listening to me now, don't reach out to me if you're not really take action on something.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, look, I tell people, I'm not here to make friends. I got enough friends. If I want another friend, I get a dog. I want, I want, I want people that are serious about moving themselves forward.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean we can't be friendly. That doesn't mean we can't be friends.
Right.
But I'm not looking for friends here. This is not a dating site. We try to make some things happen for ourselves. We want to make some business happen.
Yeah.
I'm looking for the serious, not the curious.
Yep.
So we want to get some things going. So I really am only looking. So if none of you reach out to me, I understand. Mm-hmm. I'd rather have none reach out than people who are not serious about doing something.
Right.
Now, does that mean you got to do something with me? No. But we can have a talk about you doing something as long as you do something somewhere, sometime. I don't care. I just want serious people to talk to.
Yeah.
Because people, we got too many tire kickers out here.
Right.
I just want to see what it is. I just want to hear about it. No. Let's be honest with ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
The main reason we don't take action is because we have something in our head that tells us we can't afford something,
Mm-hmm.
or we have something in our head that tells us that I don't think I can do it.
Right.
These limiting beliefs that we have.
Right.
And you think, well, Barrett, if I can't afford it, I can't afford it. Nah, that's not true.
Right.
You figure out how to do things that you really want to do.
Absolutely.
You figure things out.
Absolutely.
And by saying you can't afford it, what you're doing, I'm gonna get deep on Kevin for a second.
Go on now.
God put your brain in your head to figure things out.
Yeah.
When you say I can't, you have told your brain to stop working.
Right.
You told your brain to shut down, stop working.
Right.
When you ask yourself, how can I? You put your brain to work.
Yeah.
So you can do what it was meant to do.
Yeah.
Trust me, you can figure out ways to do things that you want to do. If you say you can't afford something, but your kids in the hospital, and that hospital bill is going to be a certain amount of money, that's what you figure out a way to make that happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
You figure out a way to do it. So don't say you can't. Ask yourself, how can I? Right. Because we're talking about your business here. Mm-hmm. Your business right now has to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Your business needs help.
Yeah.
How can you figure out a way to help your business?
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you know what happens to people go to the hospital and they can't figure out a way to help them.
Right.
I ain't got to go that far. But your business is going to be in that same position if you don't help it.
Yeah.
Do something right now to change your business. So if you want to reach out to me, that's fine. And also for those of you, now this is for those of you who want me for speaking engagements. Mm-hmm. So if you want me for speaking engagements, I'm going to give you guys my personal number. You can call me only for speaking engagements. My number is 301-326-9919. 301-326-9919. Only if you want me for a speaking engagement, we can discuss that as well. But Kevin, I'm gonna hand the mic over to you, my friend, and hope to be working with some people soon.
Absolutely, we're gonna find them all, Doc. I'm gonna tell you that because the cream rises to the top. That's all I know, ladies and gentlemen. And you guys are the cream out there. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, our wonderful guest, Dr. Barrett Matthews, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, Doc, for being with us today.
Thank you.
He's an author, businessman, ladies and gentlemen, awesome individual speaker and trainer and mentor, and all the above, ladies and gentlemen. A couple things that Doc talked about too, guys. I want to encourage you guys to make it happen. There's nothing that you can't learn. Minimum, Doc, and we already talked about it, the minimum you can do is go on YouTube and find it, folks. Just type in what you're looking for. It's there. So no excuses, right? None. Zero. I don't want to hear about it. Matter of fact, a good friend of mine, Doc, he is allergic to negative. So anything that he starts sneezing, he'll start getting that. I gotta leave, man. It's just too much negative around here. So no negative, folks, because you are worth it and you can do it, folks. There's nothing you can't do, but you may need a little help. That's what Dr. Matthews and I come in at. We can help, at least give you a little encouragement, right, as well on top of that, but there's nothing you can't do. And I know you've been used to maybe some things and different ways of thinking. Guess what? Them days are over with, folks. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, the good creator, God, who created everything, folks, he said it's not even good for us to look back, folks. We're supposed to look forward. And Dr. Matthews talked about this, folks. The future is now. The future is coming. Whether you like it or not, you're going to have to learn to deal with stuff, folks. We just have to grow up. Some of us, Doc, we just have to grow up, man, and just deal with it because it's here. Now, you can be a hermit and be all that other stuff if you want. That's fine. But the point is you have to learn. And how many times do you get excited when you start learning? Oh, I didn't know I could do that. Yes, you can do that. When you have the right people around you, there's nothing you can't do. And I'm gonna leave you with this, guys, too. My pastor, Doc, Doc talked about this a while back in one of the, prior to COVID, when we were in church services, talked about the box. I used to say I was gonna think outside the box. Then my pastor said, we know that there is no box, ladies and gentlemen, there is no box. So no longer do you need to say, think outside the box. There is no box. So your opportunity is unlimited, folks. It's just a mindset thing that you got to get through as well. And God has given you everything, folks, that you need to pursue what you need to pursue. So I'm excited about Doc being with us today on Power Connections. Well, Doc, I thank you so much, man. It's been a great time, man. Great time with you today. Appreciate you so much for being with us today. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, that's Dr. Barrett Matthews, ladies and gentlemen, author, businessman on Power Connections. Hey, Doc, you know we got to have you back periodically.
Exactly, brother.
We'll plan catching up with you as soon as possible. But we guys, we want you to be excited. We want you to rock your own world, folks, ladies and gentlemen. Rock your own world. But if you need a little help, we'll help rock your world for you by giving you some encouragement and some power to help you get started, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, this has been Power Connections with Kevin Vaughan and Dr. Barrett Matthews, ladies and gentlemen. Again, Doc, thank you so much for your time, man. We salute you. Have a great day, everybody. Y'all take care. And we'll leave you with this real quick. Hey, remember to always out-love, as Dr. Larry Carnes would say, always out-love, out-serve, and out-forgive each other, ladies and gentlemen. Remember that Jesus is Lord. God bless you, everybody. We'll see you next time on the network. Okay. Brother Doc, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye. Y'all have a good day today, guys. Y'all take care of yourself. Bye.